The content of this podcast, statements, comments, views, and opinions expressed by the host do not reflect the views of their employers or their streaming platforms. Again, we thank you for tuning in and we hope you enjoy.
Yo, it's Jess from You Were Thinking It, giving you what you deserve, but not without Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, oh my gosh, it is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you why. It's free. You have the option to record and edit right from your phone or computer. Anchor distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Oh, and did I forget? You do make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. What are you waiting for? Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in to episode 3 with the ladies of You Were Thinking It.
Yes.
What's up, y'all?
What's poppin'? What's going on?
Girl, I'm so depressed that today is Sunday and that I gotta go back to work tomorrow. Ever since this pandemic, it's like no work-life balance whatsoever. And it's getting on my nerves.
Working from home is like a struggle.
Yeah, and it's like the Sunday hits even worse.
Yeah, I think it hits worse because like we all home, so it's like Bria said, there's no work balance, like work-life balance, because it's like today I gotta wash my clothes after this, but then I'm like, I feel like I'm still working. Like, did I really get a break? Because I wake up, roll over, grab my laptop, and work some more.
It's no change of scenery. It's like the opposite now. It's like I'm going to the office today when it used to be, I can't wait to work from home.
Right.
Exactly. Yes, because when we were working in the office, we had the option to work from home every once in a while, and I would be so pressed to do it. Now they give me that option. No, perfect attendance. I'm at my desk probably before my boss is. Like,
damn you, Corona.
Yeah, exactly. Corona gotta go. Corona definitely gotta go.
Quickly.
So how was y'all's weekend?
Quick, hella quick, too quick.
It was just quick.
Yeah.
What did you do?
It was like it was just Friday, and and I will be the first to say I was not productive at all. Well,
on Friday?
I was productive like 2 hours ago when I woke up.
I'm about to say, this is production right here. We're producing this podcast for the people who
with the exception
that
of
they enjoy
this podcast.
Right.
I was not productive as much as I should have been.
So this counts as productivity though. So you got it. What y'all end up doing this weekend?
I hung out with my family, and other than that, I just been chilling in the house, sleeping, getting some rest.
How about you, Jess?
I got a chance to go to Luray Caverns
for
the first time.
Yes, right, she real fancy.
Right.
Real fancy. She's like, oh, I went to Luray. Like, look at us. It's like, oh, I was just sleeping. I went to Luray Caverns.
Girl, I went to Aruba.
Right. No, I didn't do anything for real this weekend. I ran some errands. I went out yesterday, but it was... Let me tell y'all something. I gotta do a quick rant. I'm not even gonna lie. We just had this discussion about touching my hair last episode. Literally, the day our episode drops, someone touched my hair.
Oh no.
Oh my God. Like, okay, so I was out Woodbridge last night.
Hoodbridge.
Yeah.
Woodbridge. I was out Woodbridge last night, and this guy, I had my locks down, and this like big sweaty dude leans over, is like, he's like drunk. He's like, I really like your hair, it's so cool. And he grabs it. I'm like, hold the bruh.
Wow.
We literally just talked about this.
That's crazy.
I don't know if you know, but I got a podcast that you might need to take a listen to. Bro.
Right. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Oh my, it was so gross. And then later, he was like on everybody. Like, I don't know if it was like me just being too woke or something, but like he was grabbing on everybody. Like, he grabbed my hair earlier. My cousin, he wrapped his arm around my cousin, and it got to the point where me and my cousin had to act like a gay couple at this point, because I'm like, no, like, she good.
Oh, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we good. It's okay.
Right. Oh, he was a sloppy drunk.
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't just like, I'm not gonna put all the blame on him, because it was like all of, like, a lot of dudes. Like, it was this one dude, he was built like a Ken doll, and he kept grabbing at my cousin, and my cousin was like, no, I'm straight. I literally had to put my arm in front of her, like, she good, bro. She said it already.
Right.
Like, calm down. Yeah. And that's the same thing that she had to do for me with this dude. Like, he leaning in my ear, you're so nice. And he grabs my hair. I was like, what the fuck? Like, excuse me.
Right. If you know you can't control yourself when you drunk, you just need to calm it down.
And he was grabbing. It was so gross. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, why can't we just be okay in this? First of all, social distancing. I don't know you.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know you. Like, we far from everybody, because they was all in the crowd and stuff like that. And we were farther back, and he walks to the back and is like, breath on my neck close.
Sir, coronavirus.
Yeah, like, back up. Y'all doing a lot. You doing a lot. Like, I don't know. And I might have also been bothered because I was sober, but still, like, it probably would have been worse if I had like alcohol in my system, because I definitely would have told him back to fuck up. But instead I just grabbed my hair back. I was like, what the fuck? What are you doing? My cousin was like, yo, relax. Like, right. Chill out. It was so annoying. But okay, well, that was my weekend. I didn't do anything but get my
fondled. Your hair fondled.
Yeah, my hair fondled. So yeah. So okay, we had a question of the week last week about microaggressions. The guy was he wasn't white though. That's the only thing. Like, I don't know, I was just ranting because, like,
it's annoying.
Like, just don't touch my hair.
Right.
But no, we had a question of the week about microaggressions and racism. Have you ever experienced it? 91%. That sucks. That is a terrible fucking number. 91% said yes. 9% said no. So the 9% who said no, shout out to y'all. Congratulations.
We hope you never have to experience it.
Yeah, like, you are part of the elite.
Right.
It's a hard life out here for the folks that have. And to the 91%, you are worth it. You are obligated, and you have every right to tell a person to get the fuck off you. Right. Period. Like, you got every reason to slap somebody, to cuss them out. Like, do what you gotta do, bro. Do what you gotta do. I'm sorry you experienced that. Hopefully you will never experience it again. Mm-hmm. So that's that on that. Yeah. So, okay. It's been a long week. Mm-hmm. It's been a lot going on. A lot. So, God. So, Trey Songz. Child.
Trey R. Kelly songs.
R. Kelly Jr. R. Kelly 2.0, apparently. And it's so sad. I mean, I haven't really listened to his music recently, but
I have.
I mean, didn't he drop a song about Black love like a week ago?
He did.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm like, this really happened. So, okay, apparently there's this girl that did this interview. Bria, you might I didn't really dive too deep into this story, but so I think you might know a little bit more about it than I do. Yeah. But Trey Songz, this girl apparently did an interview with some, like, I guess a podcast or an internet show or whatever, and she is apparently hoe is life for shorty. So, like, she was out here sucking 7 NBA players in a row. Like, they was all in the room with it, and she has lived a very wild life at a very young age. So apparently she also linked up with Trey Songz at some point, and she was telling it all about that. And apparently Trey Songz into some kinky shit. He liked to pee on people and hide the girls away, type, like, it, take their phone. Like, the girl was like, she didn't know when she was going to be able to leave, and she would keep asking, like, when can I leave? And I'm just like, why men don't know how to act around women?
Right.
Why y'all don't know how to act? What's going on? Like,
right.
Talk to us.
Yeah. So the girl's name is Selena Powell, and she like has a career of like, you know, being around and sleeping around.
Her OnlyFans link at her
pinned on her.
For goodness sake, on her Twitter, she has pictures with penises in her face.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. Hoe is life for shorty.
Right, exactly. And in no way or shape or form are we saying that because she decides to live on the wild side that she has the right to be abused or taken advantage of.
Yeah, no, of course not.
In any way, shape, or form. It's just, you know, this is what she does. So she was saying that, you know, Trey Songz, and she filed a lawsuit against him a few years ago, basically saying that he abused her, and he went to Twitter and to Instagram posting these receipts saying that she was lying, which is what they tend to do. Now, to piggyback on that, a few years prior, Keke Palmer, who's a singer and actress, came out publicly on...
Like, she's a singer?
Yes, singer, exactly. And she came out publicly on a lot of different platforms and was saying that she had an encounter with him that, you know, wasn't pleasant, and people bashed her for it.
Of course, because it's a Black woman. But we're going to dive into that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel so bad because it's like, why when Keke said it, it was kind of like, oh, we need proof, blah blah blah. But this white girl says it, not to be, you know. But this white girl says
on
it.
Her page.
Huh?
I'm gonna keep bringing up that point.
I mean, listen, you live your life the way you want, and I'm not gonna bash you, you know, for living your life the way you want. If you want to be one of those people that, you know, is very sexually open,
but that's
active,
what I'm saying. People were quick to believe her.
Yeah,
like you said, where you were heading with your response.
Yeah,
but they were quick to not believe Keke Palmer, throw it under the rug, and keep it moving.
Yeah. I just don't understand why that's a thing. Like, why is it with black people, Black women in particular? Like, we have to go above and beyond for somebody to really believe us or understand us or hear hear our problems, you know? So
exactly.
Yeah. Like, diving into the next topic, honestly, I mean, let's just keep it 100. Trey Songz has been accused of some creepy stuff beforehand, and like we talked about last week, you know, it takes a while for these people to get caught up in their shit. So you know, hopefully, you know, I like Trey Songz as a singer, like, you know, I like some of his music, but if you gotta get canceled, bro, if you don't know how to act around women, that's just, you need to figure that out. So
and like somebody said, you know, it makes it, social media these days, it makes it really hard to differentiate between what's true and what's not. And because we don't know the full story, someone was just like, okay, if it's true, then, you know, forget Trey Songz. If not, then, you know.
I mean, shit, at this point, you got so many, like, for instance, you got so many women that came out about R. Kelly, and they had a rally for him in Chicago like, a couple days ago. Like, it's still gonna be people that just are like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, that didn't happen, and it stinks that we have to deal with that. But I mean, hopefully a better day will be coming for that. You know?
I agree, but I think another part of it too, and please don't nobody kill me, but if we're gonna have to have the conversation, we have to have the full conversation.
Right.
There are people, men and women, who lie. You know what I'm saying? And when they lie, they make it hard for real victims to come forward and for people to believe them. So we have a history, especially in the Black community, where, you know, people like, well, white women, like, you know, like the lie on Black men. And I'm not saying that this is the case with Selena Powell or Trey Songz, but in our community, there's a long, painful past of that. So if you are a liar, you need to be held accountable as well, because it makes the situation so much worse for people who really have these real life traumatic experiences where they come forward and nobody wants to fight for them or believe them, because there's been 8 other people that have. So if you are someone who plays this card for your own whatever gain it is, then yeah, you're a problem too.
Right, exactly. And I lost my train of thought because I had something to piggyback off of it, but never mind. Hopefully it pops back up.
It'll come back.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just sad, like, to see people that you grew up on, you know what I'm saying, being like, they always say don't meet your heroes, don't meet your, you know, your faves and stuff like that, but it's just sad to see that sometimes this is actually the reality. And I remember what I was about to say. So I actually had this conversation with another group of close friends, and I told them, like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of doubting Shorty because of the fact that she has such a broad past of claiming that she's pregnant by celebrities. Because then there was another video going around of her saying, I think it was her, or it might have been, I think it was her actually, but it was a video of her saying that she found Drake's number, texted Drake, and Drake was like, hell no, I know exactly who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that kind of stuff kind of made it a little fishy to me. And then I think she said she got assaulted by Tory Lanez too, or something like that. I had to like go back in the text messages to really find it, but she had my friend was explaining to me that she had a long history and stuff, but that didn't stop them from like believing her. And I know that, you know, in this climate, it's really about like supporting women, but
we gotta be real.
I was being completely honest with them, and I'm like, bro, I don't think this shit is real. Like, if she's out here, you know, talking about how she was letting 7 NBA players hit her from the back and all that other stuff, who's to say, you know, like, that she not just doing this for clout and saying that she, you know, been getting pregnant by celebrities. Like, she has a history of being a liar. So
exactly, it's almost like, and I hate to say it, but when you, it's one thing to be a grown woman and feel like, hey, if I want to, you know, have a sexual partner, then that's on you. But when you're making a career of actually going after these men, it's to the point where they not really men. We know men will sleep with anything they got a pulse. Okay, so if men feel like you easy, they gonna sleep with you. Okay, but if you're going after them and putting yourself in these positions where it's like 30 men hitting you all at one time, then it's like, sis, you have to take accountability for that part and say, well, man, I don't need to keep putting myself in these overly explicit, you know what, situations. Like, let me scale back, because she be in everybody's comments. Snoop Dogg, Trey Songz, Drake, Chris Brown. She done hit up everybody.
I will beat that. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. Alex is a Chris Brown stan. Okay?
Yes.
I love me some Chris Brown. Chris Brown, if you happen to listen to this, I am available and waiting, and have been waiting for years, okay? And I will continue to wait.
And go check out her tweets. They're pretty explicit when it comes to
I will
CB.
legit. No, he be seeing my tweets because he keep posting my concert videos. That's another rant for
what?
Yes, he keep posting my concert videos, y'all. And I'm like, listen,
quick side. So that was your video on his page that he had posted
with the Go Crazy on it? Yeah, that was mine, and I will send it to y'all so y'all can see it. But that was mine.
Said something about it. That's why I went to go look.
Every time he posts something, I say something about it because they're all my videos.
That means he know who you are, Alex. He know what's really good.
I know he know who I am. I know he know who I am. Listen, we have had our encounters, okay? Me and Chris Brown have had our encounters. So I'm just waiting for him to stop being shy.
Right.
And, you know, listen, I'm here and I'm ready.
How the heck did he get your videos? Did you DM him?
No, I had posted them on Twitter just like, because I follow, you know, Chris Brown fans. We follow each other, whatever. So when I went to the concert, I just posted a whole bunch of videos. My videos were good, so they got a lot of retweets. And Chris Brown got, I think personally, and a lot of Team Breezy thinks, because I'm Team Breezy, I will claim it. But a lot of Team Breezy thinks that Chris Brown has a burner account on Twitter and he be stalking people, because he always posts a lot of like our like stuff that we'll post on Twitter. He'll end up screenshotting it and posting it on his Instagram and stuff like that. So I've seen so many people's like tweets that I follow, and like I interact with on his Twitter, on his Instagram and stuff. He's not as active as he used to be on Twitter anymore, but he used to be really active, so we think that he still has like a burner account and he's kind of like just watching his fans.
Yeah.
So yeah, but my videos got really popular because of the fact that they were really good, because I was like second row. So they got popular, and I guess he saw them from like people retweeting it, or who knows, he might be ghost following me, who knows. So yeah, like I said, if you see it, you see my tweets. If you ghost following me, you see my tweets and you know that this love has been real since day one. So I love you. Just know that, okay? Back to the subject.
If shooting your shot was a person, it would be Alex.
Definitely.
Yep, you're right. Anyway, so no, back to the subject though. Like that's a lot. So
yeah,
the girl, I got my doubts on her. Don't bash me about it, because I'm not all, instantly believing the victim, but I got my doubts on shorty. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So then there's in other celebrity news, my poor baby Megan. That's another one I love to death. My poor baby Megan. She is going through it.
Yeah.
She is going through it. And it sucks. And it sucks so bad. This kind of ties into the Trey Songz situation with Keke Palmer, because if you have not known about Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez situation, apparently a couple weeks ago I think they were at like a house party at Kylie Jenner's house or something like that. It had something to do with Kylie, but Megan ended up getting shot in both her feet. Now everybody's like, well, who shot Megan, blah blah blah, and a lot of people thought it was Tory Lanez. A lot of people have been saying it was Tory Lanez and it all. People online have been harassing the hell out of Megan for the past 2-3 weeks, trying to figure out what happened. And that's something that, y'all, I don't know, a lot of since this quarantine, a lot of things in like my mindset have been changing about like celebrities. Like, I think that people fail to realize that celebrities are human beings. They just got more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so her getting shot, you don't go and make memes about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things that you just don't joke about. And this was one of those things. And so Megan had been like harassed to the point of her like having to put her actual wounds on Instagram to show them like, nigga, I got shot. Like, it's not a game. I'm not doing this for fame. I'm not doing this because the album's coming out. Like, I got shot. There's a clip of her walking backwards and blood is leaking from her feet.
Right.
But y'all not believe, like, why is it so hard for a Black woman to just be, you know what I'm saying? Like, to just be able to have that protection.
Right.
To be, and it's like, oh, everything is a joke. But as soon as a white girl come out and say something like, if Kylie would have got shot, all hell would have broke loose, man. This would have been a national tragedy. We probably would have had Kylie Jenner Day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that's too fucking much, man. That's too much.
Yeah.
And like, it got to the point where Megan was so annoyed with the whole situation. Tory Lanez ain't said shit since. Like, she got on live and was like, yeah, Tory shot me. That's who shot me.
Right.
And it's still jokes. Like, the fact that she has to continuously replay this trauma over and over and over for people who act like they don't give a damn about human life. They don't give a damn about a Black woman being in pain. But it's always like, oh, believe women. And like, how do y'all get to pick and choose who to, like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, these are quality watchdogs, man.
Right.
Y'all pick and choose who y'all want to protect, and that's not
exactly.
Y'all really pick and choose.
What's so crazy about it too is in that video, she wasn't even really walking. Shawty was real loud, like limping.
Tiptoeing.
Yeah,
exactly. And then too, it's like what's disheartening is it's a lot of people within her own community that were making the meet. Like a lot of Black celebrities, Black men are the ones that's been ridiculing her and saying like, we don't believe you, making memes. I know 50 Cent had posted a meme of her and Tory.
Like Boys in the Hood.
Yeah. And it's like we supposed to support our own. Like, this is the time where we all supposed to come around her and say, look, that's a traumatic, not just only painful, like physically, that's a traumatic experience. Being shot or shot at or hearing gunshot wounds.
It's scary.
It's a scary experience.
It's scary.
So not just her physical well-being, but also her mental well-being. She don't have any blood relatives. Her parents are gone. So
she's been through a lot.
And it's like her grandmother been sick, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. So it's like she really has no one in her corner that she can really like lean on, that's not going to judge her, that's not going to humiliate her or laugh at her and mock at her. So it's like, why y'all can't do what y'all supposed to do? And black women, we support black men with no question, no hesitation.
And that was just about to get into that, because you got to remember, in the live that she was, explaining everything that happened, she instantly was like, I wasn't telling the cops nothing, because cops are shooting niggas like it's open season. So why would I go and tell them that Tory had a gun when, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would I go out? Like, she was already protecting Tory as a black man in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, the fact that we as black women instantly are so protective over our own people, and we can't get that same respect.
But Alex,
like, your first thought was to make a meme about it, and you didn't, and you talking about 50 Cent in particular, you apologize about it once you see that she's crying and she's explaining that she doesn't have anybody in her life to help her through this, for real. And y'all out here making jokes about it. And the girl is young. She's like 25.
Yeah.
So, like, come on, man.
To take from what you just said, like, let me tell y'all something. The black woman is the most disrespected woman, and that's facts. I cannot stress that enough. There is no reason why she made headlines. The shooter made headlines. She didn't have to give information, because that's a private matter,
right?
And the only reason it made headlines is because, like Bria and Alex said, she's a celebrity. But she was very hush on details, and that is because she didn't want to name drop, and also she should be able to keep some things private. But because people like to troll, she slowly had to kind of unpack what happened. And you can only imagine how that, she's reliving a situation, and it's traumatic. And then that goes back to, it really affects your mental. So it's like, okay, not only is she now
defending herself,
telling everyone what happened, but then a couple weeks after that, it's like she has to release these pictures that they're gruesome, and it's something that was once again private.
Something that she shouldn't have had to do. And y'all still not
believing her.
Right.
I done seen it all. I done seen some tweets. Granted, I'm not on social media, but when I get on to do promo and stuff, it's stuff that pop up. And I saw one tweet that really, and I'm not even gonna say it took me by surprise, but it was somebody who is very close in a way. It wasn't nobody, like, you see the trolls, but then to actually know a troll. So one of their tweets was like, it said, Meg says Tory shot her, but no charges were filed. Meg claims she was shot in her foot, but never worn a boot or went into rehab. I'm sorry, but I can't agree with Meg. Black woman, I love y'all for defending her, but sometimes I need y'all to put 2 and 2 together.
I need him to shut the hell up.
I'ma just say it. Women lie for attention, not saying men don't either, but for certain attention, you'll lie for it. Now,
what the
fact check. Megan indeed was wearing several dressings on her foot, but once again, why should she have to show the world that?
Right.
You notice Tory Lanez has been extremely quiet. So putting 2 and 2 together, that is putting 2 and 2 together. Like, Tory Lanez has been super quiet. She has been getting trolled. She's the victim. She's not playing victim. She actually is the victim.
Right.
And the same thing with Keke Palmer. It's like, why do I got to show all of my receipts for y'all to halfway believe me?
Right, just to even halfway believe me, because at this point, like you said, her posting her busted, feet on Instagram, and people still like, nah, like, what you think she hired a special effects nigga to come and put some stuff on her feet so she could go ahead and, like, who has time for that? Who has time to lie on another celebrity? And Tory Lanez is a dumbass because he was actually coming up this summer. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, this was his summer.
He done got dropped in so many songs.
Yeah. And then he started like really getting popping because of Quarantine Radio. Because Quarantine Radio was really popping when we were all like legit stuck in the house, like when there was nothing open. You know what I'm saying? So he got popping off of that. His last little Chicks Tape album did real well. You know what I'm saying? Like he was featured on a lot of songs. Like he was on tour with Chris Brown last year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you had that moment and you fucked it up.
Yeah.
For nothing.
I think he was so ignorant.
I think he was getting a deal with Apple for Quarantine Radio or something like that. And it just goes to show like how one split decision, second decision can just mess up your whole entire life.
Yeah.
And,
well, I love me some Megan, so I hope she you know,
and it's like now she has my full support. But not only that, like, do trolls ever and I'm assuming they don't, but I'm like, do y'all ever just show any compassion? Because we all fighting our own battles, and like I said, this somebody who just lost her mom almost a year ago. It hasn't even been a full year, and then she's been put in the limelight for stupid stuff, always having to defend herself.
Yeah. All in all, like to kind of end this a little bit, like y'all need to do better when it comes to Black women. Y'all need to do better.
Sometimes just shut up.
Yeah, just shut up. Like, and then especially with celebrity Black women, y'all gotta understand that celebrities are human beings. You know what I'm saying? And this is me talking as a regular, common, normal person that probably got about $20 in the bank. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, but y'all gotta understand that these are people. They have their problems might not compare to ours, but they have problems. And then the fact that everything is in its, you know, in a limelight, like, it's harder for them because there's so many people judging them for every little thing that they do. Everything that they do. So to kind of pivot from this next thing that kind of rocked my timeline, because as I explained earlier, I'm a Team Breezy individual. So I think this is something that Team Breezy already knows.
His baby mother.
His baby mama ain't Black. She's not Black. The new baby mama, not the old one. But the new one, Amika, is not Black. And
what they call it, blackfishing?
Yeah, blackfishing, that's what's called. And she's been exposed. This is things that Team Breezy already knew. We kind of probably the ones that exposed it, but whatever. So apparently Amika has been claiming that she's Black. She changed her name. Her name, I can't pronounce it, but I think it was German before. Because she's I think she's like half Thai, half German. No, she's fully Thai.
Her stepfather was German.
Her stepfather was German, and she ended up taking her stepfather's last name. And then once she got older, she changed her name to Harris to sound more Black. And she was she was actually Team Breezy at one point, but she was more Team Karrueche, which is kind of weird because they look like. So she was very obsessed with Karrueche and Chris Brown's relationship when he was with her, and she would tweet him all the time. So this Instagram that exposed it had like all these receipts, like for I don't know how they got her birth certificate, but they got her birth certificate. It says that she's fully Thai, and she just been out here claiming that she Black, and she say she Blasian. And we all know Chris Brown got a type. Like, listen, Chris Brown fine. If I could claim I'm Blasian,
right. Well, if she could do it, then maybe you can.
Listen,
she ain't Blasian.
I took a DNA test. I got a little bit of Asian in my blood, so Chris Brown once again.
I'm like 2% Asian, Chris.
I'm like, no, girl. I think I'm like 7. So.
Oh. That's a really big. That's a really big number.
It is. I think I'm like 7%. So I mean, listen, I might go ahead and put Blasian in my bio.
Right.
See if I can get Chris Brown's attention next. But no, like seriously,
I can't wear.
Seriously though, like no, like come on, bruh. Stop.
Yeah.
You're not Black, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. But like you said, everybody want to be us until it's.
Everybody want to be a nigga until it's time to be a nigga.
Exactly.
Right. And that's all right. That's all right. We just know that we out here, we live in our best life. That's kind of a mental illness. Like, I feel like, because that's what our show is about. So I feel like her blackfishing, just anybody blackfishing, it's kind of a mental illness.
Right.
Like, you trying to be somebody that you're not, and you don't have to be.
Just love yourself.
And their baby is so cute.
Black magic.
Yeah, their son is cute.
Their son is so cute. Just say he's half Thai and half black. Don't try to lie and say he's 83% black. Right? Like, you got a Blasian baby, but you ain't Blasian, baby. Right. You're Thai.
Yeah.
That wasn't it. I didn't even mean to do that. That's just how wavy I am, bro. I didn't even mean to do that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she need therapy. I don't like her anyway because she messing with my man. I gotta fight her.
That goes for all his significant others.
Not really, because I like Rihanna. If he gotta go with anybody, just go back with Rihanna. I love that toxic.
Rihanna shit. Don't want him back.
I say baby girl has grown. She done got thick.
Mature. She a whole philanthropist out here.
She need to just give us this album so I can like stop listening to Ponder Replay like it's brand new because I haven't heard it in 12 years.
Right.
I was playing that album yesterday, Alex. Do not feel bad,
bro. I'm like every time I hear a Rihanna song, I literally go on my Twitter and I'm like, Rihanna, please just come back home.
Right.
Just come back home.
I've been securing the bag.
I mean, listen, she get my money regardless. I got a monthly subscription to Fenty Savage, Savage Beauty or whatever that lingerie line is. I got a monthly subscription to that because her bras are perfect. I buy her Fenty Beauty makeup, so she's still getting my coins. But I would rather her get my coins to this music. Plus, I've never seen her on tour, and I really want to see her. Yeah. So. Yeah,
it'll happen.
I would really appreciate if you come back home, Rihanna. Me and the kids miss you.
Yeah.
Okay, so today might be a little heavy for some people. We're gonna talk about mental illness in our community, the Black community, the melanated community, and I guess to start, how are you guys dealing with it yourself? Like, as far as your own mental health, we'll start there and then we'll work our way into everything else. How are you guys dealing with it?
During COVID-19, I mean, I have my own apartment. I live by myself. So being there for, weeks at a time, at first, it was like, oh, okay, cool. I ain't gotta get up, I ain't gotta go to work. But after a while, it's like, bro, like, there's nobody else here. It's just me. And I had to, like, come to my parents' house for a little bit because I needed human interaction. Not saying that I can't be by myself, because I can. But it was just, like, really, I don't want to say hard, but it was, like, it's not easy to be by yourself for that long period of time without any other human interaction. So at first, it was kind of trippy. But I think now I've gotten the balance of it. Like, I'll go home, I'll be by myself, and then it's just like, all right, of course you can FaceTime and stuff, but it's different when you actually, like, are in person around people that you know and love. So I kind of, like, come around to their house sometimes when I need that interaction, just to kind of, like, not, have my brain so stressed about being in the house all the time by myself.
Yeah. How about you, Bess?
So... yeah, quarantine is a different level of seriously take care of yourself. But I want to say I had to check my mental health. Maybe it was about my early 20s. It was a lot going on. But I realized what helps me is journaling, because sometimes your mind can get so crowded. And you may not want to tell everybody that you're not okay.
Yeah.
But I do recommend you at least have that one or two people that you can go to and express yourself.
Yeah.
But so I've basically, what I'm saying is I've had coping methods prior to quarantine, but since quarantine has came, like Bria said, it was all fun and games the first couple weeks. And then you realize, like, okay, this is life. And thankfully I go to my mom's house, and it's a change of scenery. Sometimes I have to go into the office periodically, so that's another escape.
Yeah.
Something else that I do is I started working out again. Working out, even going for a walk, it helps. And then just making sure I keep busy. So, and not with work, because I get tired of staring at the computer and it's taking a toll on my eyes. But like I find little projects around the house to do.
Yeah.
Things I never really had time to do. It's like I'm trying to take advantage of it now. And then there are times, like Bria said, I live by myself too, and it gets pretty boring, especially since I don't really watch TV. So, yeah, it's just been hard. But those are some of the things that I've done to cope with it. So, what about you, Alex?
So I don't live alone. I still live with my mom. I got siblings and everything like that. But so, I mean, that kind of helps. But at the same time, I be tired of seeing the same faces every damn day.
Exactly.
My whole thing is as the weeks went by, like I said earlier, like we had the option of working from home at some point, and I would be excited to do it. But now being home and just working all day and feeling like that's literally the only thing I do at this point, it's kind of like the day repeats itself, and it's just like I have those days where I have to close myself off from like everybody, and I'm just like trying to understand that I have literally been in the house for 5 months straight. So like in the beginning, after like 2 months, I think is when I really started losing my mind, because I listened to another podcast that's not paying us for any type of promo, so I'm not gonna say their name. Plus they're a very established podcast, so they got it, but shout out to them. I listen to them a lot, and it kind of scared me, because it was like I had a moment where I understood that we were literally all living this same life right now, like celebrities. It didn't matter if you were rich or poor, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that scared me to the point where I literally almost ran out my house at 12 o'clock at night, because I was so freaked out. Because like the guy on the podcast was just saying like, bro, I've been doing Duolingo, and I was like, me too. He's like, I've been doing stuff that I haven't done in years, and I'm like, me too. So I'm just like, we're all living the same lifestyle right now, and it kind of it scared me to the point where I was like, bro, I gotta get out this house. And every once in a while I have those moments. So like I had that moment the other day. Actually, I was watching the DNC convention, and somebody said something about it being like month 6 in quarantine, and I was with my mom, and I'm like, I've been in the house for 6 months straight.
Yeah.
And my mom was just like, oh Lord, because I literally go through those stages where I'm just like, are you serious? And I'm like, I'll start having like a whole breakdown, and I don't know where it comes from. I'm still trying to really get my mental health together, because I've had a lot of things happen as far as just harboring old emotions and stuff like that. So it's a little difficult for me, I'm not gonna lie. Like I still have not mastered it, because I still have those days where I'm just like, yo, I gotta get up out this house, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now I can't even. I used to be able to go to work. That kind of helped me, because like I said in the earlier podcast, my office has a really, really good work environment, so I enjoy being at work, but I'm not able to do that right now, because the office is completely full, because of some work stuff. So I'm not able to do that. But so right now I'm kind of struggling, because I was planning on going to work sometime this week, and I can't. So I'm in the midst of another breakdown. So if y'all see me on Twitter talking about why the hell have I been in this house for so long, that's what's happening. I'm probably ripping my hair out because I can't get out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been kind of difficult, but we'll deal.
It's gonna be okay. We all gonna get through it. I definitely will say this is a time where it's a chance for us to learn about ourselves.
Yeah.
Because some of us are always consumed with everyday tasks that we don't really know little things about us that we should.
Right.
So that's one thing I took away from it. And it's okay, like if somebody's telling you you should have XYZ done because you got more time in your hands, that's BS.
Shut the hell up.
And it's okay to be absolutely lazy and do absolutely nothing.
Right.
That's true. That is very
you never know. Like, you don't know everybody's situation. There are probably people who work so much that this is a break for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't judge a person because they don't have a business or they didn't do, X, Y, and Z. Or first of all, worry about your own life. Don't worry about my pockets. Worry about yours. Unless you put in something in my pockets, don't worry about them.
Mind your business.
Right. Don't worry about them. Like, I hate that. I have a friend on Instagram that does that. Like, they post like, oh, if you haven't had your business, if you didn't start your business, but shut up. Right. I'm not like quarantine.
It's not for everybody, first of all. So
true. And then during quarantine, like, luckily quarantine, I in the beginning I was able to like really focus on, because I was so bad with money management before quarantine. I'm not even gonna lie to you, my check would be gone, and before quarantine I didn't have a car. I used quarantine to get my credit up, and I got me a car. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bossed up.
Yes. Exactly.
No, I'm just saying, like, I got my credit up, got me a car, and I'm more focused on what I need to do as far as finally getting the hell out of my mother's house for good and not moving back. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like, sometimes you have that grind to, want to have to do something, and honestly, quarantine has made people, like Jessica said, sit and listen to, think about what they need out of their self and what they need to do for themselves. And that's kind of what quarantine did for me, because I got my credit up. Right. So, and I learned how to do makeup. I learned how to do makeup. So, yeah.
But quarantine too can help, birth other things. Because I know Alex. Shout out to Alex, because Alex is the one who kind of like curated this podcast and really came to like Jessica and I with the idea.
But pause. We're gonna pause. Pause 1 second. Listeners, I know you heard me last podcast where I said,
because we keep saying Jessica.
Y'all keep calling me Jessica like I'm in trouble.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
My bad.
I'm about to call you Brianna, and I'm about to say Alexis.
Well, that's different because your name is actually Jessica. My name is not Brianna.
But I feel like I'm in trouble.
Oh my God. Okay. So,
y'all Alex, my mental.
Alex called Jess and I, and was like, how do you guys feel about doing a podcast? And it's like, this is another form of like therapy, and this is like another outlet for us to like, because pre-pandemic, it was more so me. It was hard for me to like hang out and come around. But this is a way for us to, really come together and like spend time together without actually like physically being around each other and like really have girl talk and things like that. Yeah. But because a few years ago, I want to say like after I got out of high school, I had a situation where a friend of mine had got killed. And then like a few weeks later, somebody really close to me that like helped raise me, I guess I could say, had also passed away unexpectedly. And I was like mentally going through it. And I don't know if you've ever seen somebody who like has mentally been through it but didn't know that they was like depressed until after the fact.
I've been there.
Yeah, it was like I was sleeping all day. I wasn't working. My weight was going up and down. I didn't want to do nothing. Didn't want to be around anybody. And it was like a month or so later when my mom like came and sat down to me and was talking to me, and she was like, like, how are you? Like, what's going on with you? And to me, I just thought I was going through regular everyday life. I was like, oh, I'm fine. Just taking it one day at a time. And my mom was like, no, baby girl, you're not taking it one day at a time. Like, you gotta really like do this sounds so cheesy, but like self-inventory, because I would have moments to myself, and I never told anybody this, where I would just like bawl, like just give me 10 minutes in a dark room by myself, even if it was in a bathroom, and just cry.
Oh girl, I still do that.
Bria, that is crazy.
Yeah, and it was like afterwards, I never really, and this is why it's important to like really pay attention to what's going on with yourself. And if you notice things are changing about your friends or your loved ones, don't be afraid to be a shoulder for them to lean on. Because if it wasn't for my mom coming to me, I would have never realized like, oh yeah, I guess I was really depressed, and I had never experienced anything like that before in my life. And you know, us Black women, we want to be strong, and you know, just say, oh, I had a bad day. I wasn't really.
Girl, we are breeded to be strong.
Right. I wasn't really being serious about what was going on with my mental health, and it was like, damn, you right, Ma. And it was like after that, I had to like really evaluate and like make it a habit. Even if I didn't want to, there were days where it like physically hurt, like my shoulders and my back like physically hurt for me to get out the bed, but I had to do those things because it was like if I didn't, it was just a continuous cycle of bullshit, and I was like, I gotta get myself up out of this.
Yeah, and I'm glad you actually brought up the fact that your mom noticed it, because that kind of ties into just mental illness in our community. Like when we recognize it, how sometimes it's kind of ignored, and or it's kind of made of a joke, you know, or it's blamed on something else instead of what it actually is. Like, so I have a family member who I was very close with for a very long time, and they have a mental illness, but they do not recognize it. They don't pay any attention, and it's hard to watch that happen. Because when you pay attention to it and you know what it is, and you see other people blaming it on certain, you know, other things, it's hard. Because now you're like their shoulder to cry on when things get bad, and you kind of take on their issues because nobody else is helping them. So it's a very difficult like situation, and it's honestly just gonna get mad, but it's honestly very reminiscent of Kanye West situation. That's the most like publicized, you know what I'm saying, mental illness that we're seeing right now, and a lot of people are taking it as a joke, as a hoax, as, you know, something he's doing for sales. And because of the fact that I have experienced a person in my life with the exact same symptoms, that's like, it's very triggering to watch it happen in real time. Because it's like watching my family member again, and it's scary. You know what I'm saying? It's so scary because me and this particular family member, we can be as close as sisters one day, and the next day I'm just a terrible person. I never do anything to help them. I have negative energy, and that takes a toll, because it's like that takes a toll on your mental health, because it's just like, well, what did I do? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm helping you out, and the fact that it has happened consistently over a course of, I want to say like 7 years, it's still really, they're still not recognizing it fully, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, that shit takes a hard toll on a person,
and hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, because it's just like, you see this person every day, you know what I'm saying? And you see them when they're on their highest, and then when they're at their lowest, and then to be accused of doing something that you didn't do, or, you know, just being a bad person in general, and all you've been doing is helping them, bruh. It gets so bad to the point where you, like, when it happens again after, you know, a certain amount of times, like, you start looking at them like, do I really fuck with you heavy enough to deal with this again? You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, it's like, you grown, you got to do this yourself. Like, because now you bringing me down, and I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel, going back to kind of like Kanye West situation, I feel like it's hard. I really pray for Kim. I do. I pray for Kim, because that's a hard situation. Like, Kanye is on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? He's a public figure, and he will, you know, in one breath love his wife to death, love his kids to death, love the family to death, and the next day he was calling Chris Jong-un and saying that Kim, you know, bashing Kim for her sex tape with Ray J and being, you know, and all this, and it's just like, damn, like, I know she, you know, she going through it, just from my own personal experience. I know she's going through that shit, bro, and I feel so bad for her. I really do. Like, and a lot of people like, yeah, the Kardashians do a lot of shit for fame. You know, they
ain't that.
fetishize black
but it's like take fame out of it.
Yeah. But that's
like you said, they're still humans.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. They're still human beings that are dealing with certain things. Like Kanye West might be one of the greatest lyricists of our generation, you know, one of the best producers of our generations, whatever, but he's still a human being. Right. And he's publicly going through these things, and for people to not take it serious, it really bothers me, because it's the exact same situation that I have been in and am still technically in. Like right now, and like people don't understand, it feels like people don't understand what an episode is, like as far as a mental episode. It feels like they don't understand what it is, because Kanye West had like will do a whole entire rant on Twitter about just random stuff, and you're just like, I'm looking at it like Kanye ain't taking his medicine. You know what I'm saying? Like something ain't right. And honestly, it seems to be stress induced with him, from what I'm witnessing at least, because like it seems like he goes through these episodes more when he's about to like go through a rollout as far as like an album or like new clothes or new shoes, whatever. And that could be a stressful situation to deal with. And he has also said that he doesn't take his medicine during his creative times. So that it's an episode. And even right now with the family member that I'm dealing with an episode right now. She's cut me off for the past 2 years for no reason. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's an episode.
You know, it's an episode. Alex, just to cut into what you were saying too, is people don't know what I'll speak for our community, and I'll speak for myself. People don't know fully, you know, what an episode is, and that's because we don't talk about it in our households. Like you were saying earlier, you know, like Black women were bred to be strong. So when I was going through my situation, all honestly, and I'm gonna try not to cry, I felt embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, what the hell is wrong with me that I'm going through this, and that I didn't even have enough, you know, self-senses about myself to recognize that I was going through it. I felt like I was off, like I had a vitamin deficiency or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I not getting enough iron or zinc or something? Because it's like we don't talk about it, we don't normalize it in our community,
and we say that Black people don't. We don't go to the therapist. We don't.
Man, F that. Go to therapy, bro. Go to therapy.
And Bria, in your situation, it's like at least your mom, one, she noticed it. Two, she called you. You know, she came to you and pretty much was like, "What's going on?"
Right.
Where, like we said, in some Black families,
that's not the case.
It's just like, "What's wrong with you?"
Right.
Or you
smoking too much weed, or you doing them drugs, or you know, it's always deflected onto something else instead of it being taken for what it is and being addressed accordingly.
Yeah, because even with my family member, it was more like when we started, because like honestly speaking, a lot of family was not, and is still not there for her the way they should be. And my family, particularly my immediate family, my mom and my brothers, we're like her second family, basically. Like, you know, because she lost a lot of people, you know, that were close to her. She lost her mom at a young age, her grandmother at a young age. So she's been through a lot. And it was just, it got to the point, like when me and my mom, when her breakdown got so bad that we really couldn't kind of handle it anymore, and we started reaching out for help. It was more like, oh, well, maybe she's on drugs, you know, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And I'm like, I've grown up with this girl. No. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know her, and y'all know she ain't doing nothing stupid like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it's disheartening as hell. Like, I honestly just started telling my friends that know her about what I had to deal with, because I was going through that too, where I had to kind of hold back a lot of like emotions to try and help her, you know what I'm saying? And in the midst of that, this was disrupting my own peace, my peace in my house. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's hard to manage when you have somebody that you are close to and you see them going through just these terrible like episodes of just manic depression or like wild excitement. Like it's scary to watch, man. It's so scary to watch. And for someone to not be able to reach out to their family for further assistance after not being able to take it by themselves anymore, man, that shit, it's no joke. It's no joke.
Yeah.
Like,
and people may look and say, well, can't Kim get him some type of help? Like, she just sitting there crying, etc., whatever.
She don't
and
know
it's
what
not
to
that
do.
and it's not that easy. And like, I remember when I had like my first experience with depression, I was very, very quiet about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
It wasn't until maybe like a year after, I think I finally opened up to one person, and they're just like, oh my gosh, why didn't you say something? And I'm just like, you really don't know what to do in those times.
Right.
It's so dark.
Right.
Yeah, it's difficult to deal with it yourself. It's difficult to try and help someone else, because another thing, I'm speaking because I haven't personally dealt with depression to the point. Well, I can't really say that.
Dang, Alex, I wasn't even finished.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it got quiet.
Because it's like Bria said, you try not to get emotional about it, but it's just like she said, she had to have her moments and just break down, and then it's like she got herself together.
Yeah.
With what she thought was together.
Yeah.
And you deal with it. But I want to say that lasted for about like 4 months.
Wow.
So that was, it was 4 months.
Are you done? You good?
No, I'm not done.
Okay. I didn't know. It got quiet. I'm just checking.
You're trying not to cry. Don't cry.
Yeah, don't cry. Yeah, this is gonna be a heavy one, y'all.
Yeah.
Ain't no jokes involved for real. Like, shit is hard. That shit is hard.
Yeah.
It's difficult because I feel you.
Yeah.
It's extremely hard. So
yeah,
you never know what somebody's going through.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And don't be selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be selfish. I mean, I wouldn't say don't be selfish, but care enough to try enough to care about another person, and then protect your own peace at the same time, if possible. Because I mean, like I said, with the experience that I've been dealing with, it's hard to not be selfish after a certain amount of years of dealing with it. It gets to that point where you love them, but you just like, bro, I can't do this anymore. And especially if there's no help involved, man, that shit is difficult.
Right.
It's so hard. And like I said earlier, I literally just started telling my friends about everything that I have been dealing with when it came to this particular person.
Right.
So, yeah.
And when I say don't be selfish, I'm talking about like you get mad when that friend don't text you back.
Yeah.
Or you get mad over, a friend missing something, or just not being very vocal. And it's like,
you never know what
check on them. Just say, hey, how are you really doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that checking on people, like checking on your strong friends,
is real. It is so real.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I did. Now that I sit and think about it, I did have a moment where depression hit me really hard. Like, I went dark on social media for like 5 months, and everybody who knows me knows that is not me. I'm very active when it comes to social media, and literally maybe 2 friends kept in contact with me. It's not like they didn't, like, the rest of my friends didn't reach out. They didn't know. It was only 2 friends that knew everything that I was dealing with, and they were beside me the entire time. Like, because it got to the point I got a little suicidal. You know what I'm saying? So it was bad. I lost my job, lost my car. You know what I'm saying? I was stressed about something, another thing, and then it was relationship problems. Just kind of took it over the edge.
Yeah, it was just a big ball of stuff.
Yeah, it was a snowball of shit just running down, and I just felt like I couldn't get anything done. I couldn't get anything right, and I started like Bria was. I was in bed all the time. Like, one of my friends who was actually going through something with me, which is why she knew everything that I was dealing with, because it was a similar situation for her. We used to like cope with it and drink like fish, like all night long in my room, music blasting, like, you know what I'm saying, like just get stupid drunk for no reason every day. It got to that point, and my mom had to actually reach out to my best friend about it because it got to the point I wasn't eating. Like, my best friend literally came to my house with a pizza and like some little like margarita beer cans or whatever, and she was like, I'm not leaving until I see you eat at least 2 pieces of this pizza.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to that point where I was just like, I'm not eating, I'm not moving. My room was a mess. I didn't even have the energy to get out of bed and clean my room. Like, that was a hard situation. That was probably the hardest that I've ever been close to. Like, I've never been suicidal before, but that right there, I was so close to driving my car off a bridge every night, bro. And it was
because I think I remember you telling me just about it after the fact, and he was like, damn, Alex, you know,
it was like
us. But
it was like years after. Like, I had to like really get back to myself, because everybody who knows me knows that I'm a very high-spirited person. I don't show emotion as far as like negative emotion. I try to stay positive. So for that to really break me down, it was really out of my character.
Right.
And a lot of people didn't know, because I would put on a face like I was good, or I just wouldn't answer my phone. Because another thing is, I'm always fucking busy, so I barely answer text messages anyway, so it wasn't out of my character to do that. So nobody would be like, oh, I wonder what's wrong with Alex. It was not like that. But the only 2 people that knew, they were the only ones that I would answer their phone calls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just to cut in a little bit, because, like we all have saying, more people deal with this mental illness than we all are aware. And, I looked at the CDC, and it's just to give you guys a little bit of facts, but, more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness. Okay. Yeah. And 1 in 5 Americans will experience mental illness in a given year. And then you also have 1 in 25 Americans who live with a serious mental illness, such as, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or like a major depression. So there's more people out there who deal with mental illness than you may be aware of. Yeah. And especially with the pandemic, like you said, Alex, sometimes this type of situation with people losing their jobs and everything that's going on politically, it can push them over the edge. So if you have a friend or family member that's acting, out of normalcy than what they normally will do, then definitely pick up a phone and just say, hey, just wanted to check on you. Do you need anything? Do you want to talk? Yeah. Do you want to come outside and we can hang outside in the front yard for a quick 5-10 minutes? We can, be 6 feet apart, whatever, in any way that you can, FaceTime, Skype, whatever. Yeah. Just to check on people and let them know that they are not alone. It's really important that we come together with that.
Yeah. And sometimes, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but it's like sometimes, especially my close ones, like I can feel when something's not right. Mm-hmm. So instead of just asking the regular, how are you? It's like, how are you really? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
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 But like, I've literally lost a couple, I'm not even gonna say friends, because they ain't friends at this point.
Yeah.
It was never friends, but like I experienced back-to-back deaths. And I think I was on the verge of quitting my job, but so I was like in the cut. It wasn't as bad as my first time dealing with depression, but I was in the cut, and I literally had somebody who hit me up months later who knew what was going on and still had the audacity to say, like, send me a breakup text message. And I'm just like, how dare you do that when you knew the circumstances,
you knew what was going on, right? Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, he didn't have, whoever that was didn't have your best interest at heart in the first
place. No, not at all.
Fuck them.
Yeah,
pretty much. times
right.
10.
Right. But I mean, take care of yourselves, man. Seriously,
please, you're not alone. Like,
you're really not. Understand that. Like, you're really not. There are so many people, even if they haven't dealt with it themselves personally, they've dealt with someone else, helping someone else. It's always people out there. And please, for the love of God, go to therapy. That was one of my main things while I was dealing with depression. I was not trying to go to therapy. I finally went to therapy, and I am a lot better. But don't think that it's like just a person just asking, so how does that make you feel? It's not.
Yeah.
You can cry if you need to.
You can cry.
You just get
they gonna stare at you. They gonna stare at you. It's weird while you crying and they just stare at you.
They hand you the tissue.
Talk to God, all of that.
Yeah. They hand you the tissue and they like, it's okay to cry, let it out. And if you're like me, then you're probably one of those people that kind of harbor their emotions until it all boils over.
Yeah.
I'm telling myself, as well as everybody else who does that, to stop doing that. It is not healthy.
Not good at all.
Exactly. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
So, woo.
Release.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was intense.
Yeah, right.
It was, but it was needed though.
It needed. It is. It's needed because like we said earlier, people like to play it off like it's something else, and it's not. Like it's not. To call it what it is. Like, why is that so hard to understand? I've seen posts where people are like, Black people in general already have mental illnesses because of like things that have happened in our past, or so our things that have happened during slavery might be will trickle down to us, so we automatically have that pain of like racism and having to deal with just oppression, period.
Right.
What makes you think that doesn't take a toll on all of your mental? You know what I'm saying? Like, we make these memes and we make these jokes on like social media. I saw a meme saying that one of the worst things about being Black is having to Google where you're going to make sure they're not racist. Like, come on. That's a mental illness for us to have to do that. For us to even have to think like, let me make sure that I'm going to Alabama. Let me make sure this city don't,
I ain't want to get lynched.
Right. And that's crazy. That's so crazy. And we shouldn't have to deal with that. And you should just be able to understand that your mental health is needed. You're needed here. Like, even though my little tweets to Kanye West probably don't make it to him, and it's cool, I've always said anytime I feel like he's having an episode, I'm like, please take care of yourself.
Put it in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm just like, please, because it's so, his particular situation, I'll repeat, is very familiar to me. So I can see what happens when you don't take your medicine, you know what I'm saying? And it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. And even having to deal with my family member who was going through that had a lot of mental, like, a lot of pressure on me as, trying to keep myself together while helping them.
Yeah.
So y'all gotta take care of yourself, man.
Can you imagine it's some people who don't even take medicine because they don't get the help that they need?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or can't because they can't afford it,
Can't afford it, there's that too.
Yeah. So. But I think that leads us into the question of the week, Alex.
Yeah, it does. So, the question of the week is just pretty much like, how are you dealing with it? How are you dealing with your mental health during the pandemic? And we'll put in our description of this episode like a websites or phone numbers you can call if you feel like you are not dealing with it well, or you feel like somebody in your life is not dealing with theirs well. You can contact them about ways to help and ways to get help. So we'll put that in the bio. So I guess to kind of close out this episode, I feel like this episode was kind of short, but I feel like it was pretty intense. So it didn't need to be too long, or y'all gonna have us snot bubbles on the mic.
Exactly. Ain't no tears over here, B. Maybe
maybe y'all gonna have us have a snot bubbles on the mic. Like, I remember
when I was 9 years old. And I love y'all, man. I love y'all.
So I think we go ahead and just like close this out. And I just wanted to say, like, take care of yourself and try your best to take care of others, but make sure that yourself, that you are in tune with your mental health as well, because it's important to anybody that might be dealing with it. Understand that you're not alone. It's okay to ask for help. That's all I got. So
definitely, I agree. And also, I'm sorry, just another note as well. To piggyback on what Alex said, if you are going through a situation kind of similar to like Kanye and what Alex has been through, you know, make sure that if you are trying to help someone who's going through, you know, a mental health issue, that you take care of yourself as well. You can't pour into someone if your cup is empty. So just make sure that you can provide whatever you can to that person, but make sure that you're good as well.
Don't overextend yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Jessica, sorry, Jess. I don't know why I'm calling you Jessica today.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
I'm about to disconnect.
Sorry.
I'm no longer about to be a part of this
today. For some reason, Jessica is just in my head.
Mine too.
Every time they say it, I just be like,
we talked about this.
So we made a whole podcast about
like we just talked.
It's been 4 years now, and they're still calling me.
Oh my God.
Bad.
Well, anyway, sorry.
Y'all will get it together one day. It's okay.
One day,
y'all the only ones that get a pass.
One day we will finally all be on the same accord.
Exactly.
It is okay, but just like Alex and Bria said, please take care of yourself. Do not be ashamed. If it's never been said, or like, I think now is the time, like, you have a lot of people who are dealing with their mental health more than they have before due to the current condition. But as usual, I am going to end with a nice quote. Your mental health is more important than the test, the interview, the lunch date, the meeting, the family dinner, the toxic relationship, the toxic friendship, and the grocery run. Take care of yourself. Treat yourself. Do not beat yourself.
Yeah, that's important.
Remember that. Keep that. Yeah. We'll post that on the Instagram.
Yeah.
So y'all, thank y'all for listening to episode 3. I lost count for a second. I was gonna say like episode 5.
Yeah, episode 3. And we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Thanks for the support. Thank you for all the love. We feel it. We appreciate y'all. And y'all take care of yourself. We will see y'all next episode. Hopefully it is a lighter subject.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all was about to have a waterworks over here.
I'm telling you, it's hard, man. This shit is hard to deal with. But y'all be easy, be safe, wear masks, wash your hands, wash your ass, all that.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.